Hello, beautiful learners. Hopefully, you're doing great, and I'm also good by the grace of Almighty. Today, we are going to practice IELTS listening practice test 23 with answers and proper explanation for achieving band 9. So, before going to start our class, just give me a few seconds to check out the sound quality. Then I'll start it. Okay, let's check out the sound
You will
quality.
hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections.
Okay, I hope you can hear me and as well as the audio. Let's listen first the audio instruction, then I will start it. Okay,
At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet.
so that's all about our instruction from her. Now let's read the another instruction for us, which is given here. We can see it. No more than two words and a number for each answer. Okay, so here we can see Fairview Lake Camping Center. So let's highlight some keyword for question number 1, conference center. Okay, let's highlight it. The customer wants to bring children who have blah blah. Bring children who have blah blah. Let's listen it.
Now turn.
Receptionist that there is an example that has been played first.
Good morning. Fairview Lake Camping Center. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. I'm interested in bringing a group of school children to your centre for a week's stay this summer, and I'd like some information. Could you tell me something about your organisation?
Certainly, sir. We have 3 main functions, really. We are a conference center, an educational institution, and simply a place where you can come and have a fun-filled weekend. Whatever your goal is, our professional staff are on hand to help you.
The answer is an educational institution. So this has been filled in for you. Now,
Okay, there he was talking about an example 1, but we can't see here this one. Okay, but don't worry, let's move on.
we shall begin. You should answer. Listen carefully.
Good morning. Fairview Lake Camping Center. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. I'm interested in bringing a group of school children to your centre for a week's stay this summer, and I'd like some information. Could you tell me something about your organisation?
Certainly, sir. We have 3 main functions, really. We are a conference center, an educational institution, and simply a place where you can come and have a fun-filled weekend. Whatever your goal is, our professional staff are on hand to help you.
I think we'd like to have an educational visit and some fun at the same time. I was thinking particularly of some of our children who have failed exams and need to retake them next year.
Okay, the answer would be failed exams. No, it's not working. Failed exams. Okay, let me explain it to you. He was saying that I think I would like to have an educational visit and some fun. At the same time, I was thinking particularly of some of our children who have failed exams. That's what the answer would be. Failed exams. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Exam educational instruction. Let's highlight it and let's read it. Sailing, windsurfing, and volleyball, rowing, and a sport most children have never tried, which is sport. Let's listen it.
I see. Well, we offer coaching in various subjects at most levels. You know, math, sciences, geography, languages. We adjust the courses according to the needs of your pupils. As for the recreational side of the center, we offer sailing, windsurfing, volleyball, rowing, athletics, and quite a few other sports. Most children have never tried archery, so we offer courses in that too. It's very popular.
So she was saying most children have never tried archery. So the answer would be archery. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay. Accommodation of facilities. Let's highlight it. And the bird unit slips. Let's listen it.
That sounds good. I'll see if there is any interest. Where would the children stay?
Well, we have the birch unit that sleeps 8 people, and Greenback Row.
She was saying we have the birch unit that sleeps 8 people. 8 people. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Cabins, blah blah, sleep 20 people each. Let's listen it.
Row, which sleeps the same number. Cabins 1 through 3 each sleep 10 people. Cabins 5 and 6 sleep 12 people each.
She was saying cabin 5 and 6 sleep 12 people each. So the answer would be 5 and 6. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. The customer would bring blah blah students for the course.
How many young people are you thinking of bringing?
22. 12 girls and 10 boys.
Perfect. Then I suggest.
So the answer would be 22. As she was asking how many young people are you thinking of bringing, and he was saying that 22, and he was also saying that 12 girls and 10 boys. Okay, that's what the answer would be, 22. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I'm sorry about my throat. He would like to book the course starting Sunday. I'm sorry. He'd like to book the course starting Sunday. Maybe we're going to listen at the date. Course starting Sunday, blah blah. Let's listen it.
As cabin 3 for the boys and cabin 5 for the girls. How long would you want to stay? Ah, yes, I remember. You said a week, didn't you, Mr.
Bryson, Mike Bryson. Yes, that's right, a week.
Good. Groups arrive on a Saturday evening and leave the following Sunday morning.
That would be fine. Now, when are your courses?
Tell me the dates that would suit you, and we'll see what we can do.
The end of June would be perfect for us.
End of June. Let me see. How about the week starting Sunday, June 24th? The week starting Sunday 30th is pretty much booked up.
Yes, the 24th would suit us fine.
Okay, so the answer would be 24th June, or you can write just June 24th. Okay, June 24th. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The cost for 1 week would be blah blah something. So let's listen it. For children. Okay, we have to listen it for children. So for child, let's listen it.
Now, about prices.
For 1 week, including lessons, food, accommodation, and all sporting activities, the cost would be £425 per child and £480 per adult. Could I have
Okay, she was saying that the cost would be 425 per child and 480 per adult. So we are not going to listen it for adult, but for children, child. That's what the answer will be. 425. Let's move on to the next one. The school's telephone number is, okay, school telephone number is blah blah. Let's listen it.
have your school's telephone number, please, Mr. Bryson?
Yes, certainly. It's 647-864.
647-864. And the code?
4.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. I hope you got the number 647-864. Let's move on to the next one. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C. Okay, let's read the question. The receptionist. The receptionist suggests Mr. Bryson on group it with the other groups because it works out cheaper that way. It's more sociable. You can do your own cooking. Let's listen it. Okay, let's highlight some good for this question. Suggest Brian group it with the other people because receptionist suggest other people because let's listen it.
4304. Sorry, no, 1304. By the way, are you open in the winter? And if so, what do you offer sports-wise?
Yes, we certainly are, Mr. Bryson, and we offer ice fishing.
So let's move on.
Cross-country skiing and animal tracking. It's actually very popular in the winter.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 9 and 10. Now listen and answer questions 9.
Then 2. Oh, I almost forgot to ask, what are the eating arrangements?
We have an enormous amount of space for dining. We can divide the dining area into several separate rooms, if necessary. If you really want your privacy, we can give you a separate room, but actually we find that mealtimes gives you the opportunity to meet people from other groups. There's no difference in price, whatever you choose.
Okay, actually, she was saying actually we find that meal times gives you the opportunity to meet people from other group. There's no difference in price what you choose. So what do you think the answer should be? The answer should be option B because it's sociable because you will be able to meet people, others group people. That's why it's like something sociable. Okay, let's move to the next one. Before he decides whether to accept the course or not, Mike Bryson will check with higher authority, ask for lower prices, see what the children have to say before. Okay, before he decide whether Mike Burns will before accept the course or not. Let's listen it.
Right. What if we want to cook our own meals now and again?
Yes, that can be arranged. All of the units have their own tiny kitchens, but there are also many outdoor areas where you can cook over an open fire. We try and have several barbecues too, which are very popular.
That all sounds very satisfactory. I know the kids will be enthusiastic, and the prices sound fair enough, so I'll speak to my headmaster and get back to you as soon as possible.
Good, Miss.
Okay, I have to listen it one more time. Let's listen it.
We try, but there are also many that can be arranged. All of the over an open fire. We try and have several barbecues too, which are very popular.
That all sounds very satisfactory. I know the kids will be enthusiastic, and the prices sound fair enough, so I'll speak to my headmaster and get back to you as soon as possible.
Good, Mr.
So, what do you think the answer would be? The answer would be option A. Because he was saying, I will speak to my headmaster and get back to you as soon as possible. So that means he will check with the higher authority. That's what the answer would be, option A that I chose already. Okay, let's move on. Okay, that's all about part 1. Let's jump into part 2. So here we can see it's a map. I'm afraid of this map because I'm really mumbling something map. Okay, let's check how much we scored here. Okay, label the map below, write the correct letter A to G next to question number 11 to 15. Okay, so here we can see A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, what do we have? We have here option A, nothing. Option B, we have nothing. Option C, nothing. Option E, water work. Option D, nothing. Mentioned F, frog formed. It's option B, it's water hole. Water hole. Okay. Okay, let's zoom out it so that we can answer it perfectly. Here we can see petting zoo. Option 11, toddlers play pool, and bouncy castle and fairy place. And in option question number 14, water wonderland and craft June. Let's listen it.
Mr. Bryson, I look forward to hearing from you.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
I'm delighted to welcome you all here to our magical little outdoor play centre. We feel very privileged and excited today to have our first customers here to attend the official opening. But before we let you, and more importantly your kids, get down to the business of enjoying themselves, I just wanted to make everyone familiar with the centre's main attractions. If you look at the map I've given you, let's start by following the entrance road straight through the centre to the attraction on the right of the bridge. That is the petting zoo, a lovely little area where children...
Okay, let's listen it one more time.
On the menu, let's start familiar with the centre. Your kids get down to here to attend the official opening. We feel very privileged and excited today to have our first customers here to attend the official opening. But before we let you, and more importantly your kids, get down to the business of enjoying themselves, I just wanted to make everyone familiar with the centre's main attractions. If you look at the map I've given you, let's start by following the entrance road straight through the centre to the attraction on the right of the bridge. That is the petting zoo.
Okay, she was saying that let's start by following the entrance road straight through the center to the attraction on the right side of the bridge. So right side of the bridge there is petting zoo. So what do you think the answer should be? She was saying that straight through the center. So this is the center. Straight through the center, you have to cross this and this road through the center to the attraction on the right side. On the right side of the bridge. On the right side of the bridge. On the right side of the bridge there is petting zoo. So the answer would be option C. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Toddlers play pool.
A lovely little area where children can spend time in the company of our very friendly farm animals. Continuing left past the bridge will take you to the toddlers play pool. Alternatively...
Okay. Continuing left, the first bridge will take you to the toddler bridge. So the answer we should select B, left. Okay. Now let's listen for bouncery, castle and fairy place.
Taking a right at the petting zoo will bring you down to the bouncy castle and fairy palace. If I can draw your attention, we'll take you to the toddler's play pool, farm animals. Continuing left past the bridge will take you to the toddler's play pool. Alternatively, taking a right at the petting zoo will bring you down to the bouncy castle and fairy palace.
Okay, she was saying that alternatively, taking the right at the petting zoo will bring you down to the bouncy castle and fairy place. So, option A. For the question number 13, we should select A. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Question 14. Winter Wonderlands land. Okay, let's listen it.
If I can draw your attention to the waterfall and frog pond, you'll notice that there are two attractions close by. Following the road that leads to a dead end takes you to Winter Wonderland. Here we use snow machine.
Okay, so the answer would be option G. Option G, because she was saying following the road that leads to dead and take following the road that leads to a dead end take you to Winter Wonderlands. Okay. Let's listen it for question number 14. Craft zone. Let's highlight it. Let's listen
To create a magical world of winter delights. We think this will be a big favourite. On the other side of the map, just down from the fairy palace, there's another kind of wonderland, Waterworld. Waterworld is for the older kids, a place where they can have fun on the slides and tubes and play about in the water to their heart's content. Jumping back now to the other side of the map again, you'll see not so much an attraction as a service for you poor tired mums. This is the babysitting area. You can leave your little ones in the safe hands of our professional carers should you need a rest. The last attraction I have to show you then is the craft zone, which is on the right-hand side, down a little closer to the entrance to the water world. Here the kiddies can learn how to make all sorts of beautiful things like shiny jewellery and sparkly cards.
Before you hear the rest...
So she was saying the last attraction I have to show you, then the craft zone, which is on the right hand side down a little closer to the entrance. Then what are left? So the option D would be the answer. Okay, let's move on to question number 16 to 20. Okay, here we can see another instruction for us: no more than 2 words for each answer. Petting zoo. Here we can see it's enter an inner circle. 17, 16, 18, 19, 20 stage. Petting zoo. Okay, let's listen it and let's highlight some. Okay, there is no. So here we can see sheep, goats, cows, pigs, hens, sit and watch area, this one, and let's listen it.
Pause the recording for 30 seconds.
Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
That's pretty much everything you need to know, but before I finish, let me just tell you a little more information about the wonderful animals of the petting zoo. The petting zoo is divided into 3 areas. The area on the left-hand side is where children can go on rides, hence the name Ride Zone. We have a friendly donkey called Dan and a gorgeous little pony called Polly. Dan the donkey and Polly the pony are joined for this week only by a very special guest, Larry the llama. Queue for rides at the entrance to the inner circle and pay at the pay station located in front of the parents' sit and watch stand. The centre area is known as the mini farm zone. Here the children can see lots of different farm animals living just as they would on a real farm. Join Farmer Tom as he gives half-hourly tours of the farm and shows the little ones how to milk the cows and goats and how to feed the grumpy old pigs. Zone 3 is an area we are very excited. Farmer children ride for the Nugget Ride Zoo is a little.
Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
More information about the wonderful animals of the petting zoo. The petting zoo is divided into 3 areas. The area on the left-hand side is where children can go on rides, hence the name Ride Zone. We have a friendly donkey called Dan and a gorgeous little pony called Polly. Dan the donkey and Polly the...
Okay, let me explain it to you. The question number, she was saying the petting zoo is divided into 3 areas. The area on the left-hand side where the children can go on rides. So the answer would be rides. Ride. Now let's listen for question number 17. What is 17? Yeah, we can see. Okay, let's listen it.
The pony are joined for this week only by a very special guest, Larry the llama. Queue for rides at the entrance to the inner circle and pay at the pay station located in front of the parents' sit and watch stand.
Okay, she was saying queue for rides at the entrance to the inner circle and pay at the pay station location in front of the parents' sit and watch station. So here's a sit and watch station. So the answer would be option 17. Here we should write pay station. Okay. station. Let's listen for question number 18. Who is 18? Okay, here's 18. Let's listen it.
The centre area is known as the mini farm zone. Here the children can see lots of different farm animals living just as they would on a real farm. Join Farmer Tom as he gives half-hourly tours of the farm and shows the little ones how to milk the cows and goats and how to feed the grumpy old pigs. Zone 3 is an area we are very excited about. We call it the performance zone. Inside the arena,
We call it performance. She was saying Zone 3 is an area we are very excited about. We call it performance zone. Performance zone. So the answer would be performance zone. Performance zone. Okay, let's listen for question number 19. Here is 19.
some of our brightest animals will perform a series of tricks for the children, who will also be inside the arena area we are very excited about and how to feed the grumpy old pigs. Zone 3 is an area we are very excited about. We call it the performance zone. Inside the arena, some of our brightest animals will perform a series of tricks.
Inside the arena. So this inside the arena. So inside the arena. So here the answer we should write for 19 is arena. Okay, let's listen it for question number 20.
For the children, who will also be entertained by Cluxy the Clown and his show band, the Racketeers. The Racketeers will perform on the main stage at the centre of the arena on the hour, every hour.
So she was saying the Racketeers will perform on the main stage at the center of the arena. So at the center of the arena, so this is the arena, and the Racketeers will perform on the main stage at the center of the arena. So option C, option question number 20, we should write main. Okay, main stage. All stage is already there, so we should write just only main. Okay, that's all about part 2. Let's jump into part 3. Choose two letter A to E. Which two courses does the summer school offer? Two courses. Okay, let's listen to it.
That concludes my little introduction. I hope you have a tremendous day.
That is the
Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 27.
Okay, let's read the option. Preparation courses for graduate studies, teacher training, future employment, graduate studies, management training course. Let's listen it.
Excuse me, I've come to inquire about your summer school courses. My name's Paddy Deans. Please call me Paddy.
OK, Paddy, I'm at your disposal. Are you talking about concentrating on one subject, or do you want to study a number of different subjects? And are we talking about graduate studies or a preparation for graduate studies? We can also give you advice on a new career, but we're not in the field of business management or anything like that.
No, nothing like that. I was more interested in your sports programs.
So the girl was saying, and we are talking about graduate studies or preparation for graduate studies. So the answer we should select preparation for courses for graduate studies and graduate studies. Okay, this is the answer. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, let's read the question. Patty is interested in sports program because Paddy interested program because he needs to qualification to teach PE. He wants to improve the general teaching skills. He has been told to attend it.
You see, I'm a PE teacher and I've just got a new post. There's no compulsion to do this, but I really want to improve on my teaching and coaching techniques, if you see.
So he was saying, I really want to improve on my teaching and coaching techniques. Improve general teaching skills. Teaching needs qualification. Okay, the answer should option B. Let's listen it for question number 24. The swimming course concentrate on. Let's read the option also. Competitive swimming, teaching beginners technical aspects of swimming. Let's listen it.
See what I mean? I believe you have an excellent swimming program, for example.
That's right. Most of our instructors reached international level. Our course is designed to enhance the technical aspects of stroke, training and a strategy for each participant. Technical instruction, stretching.
So the option would be C, and that was I already selected. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Harry is interested in questionnaire course because he thinks it will help him get better employment. There is a great interest in the sports in his present school. He has always been interested in writing. Let's listen.
And dry land training.
Okay, let's highlight it. Interested in the equestrian course. Very interested in equestrian course because
training principles and stroke development are integral parts of the programme. So it's for someone who's reached a good standard of swimming. Each athlete will be videotaped and receive a DVD with stroke analysis.
That sounds just what I'm looking for. What will I need for the course?
Swimming trunks, towels, swim cap, flippers, goggles and a pillow and bed linen for the week.
Right, I understand. Now, would there be any chance of taking part in equestrian events? My new school is horse riding mad. And to be honest, I've never sat on a horse in my life, although I like horses.
okay, he was saying now would there be any chance of taking part in equestrian events? My new school is horse riding mad. So the option would be C, because he was talking about his present school. Okay, so let's move on. The beginners on sorry about my throat. The beginners on the equestrian course will be taught basic horsemanship, only dresses and slow jumping, only flat work and show jumping. Let's listen it.
Well, you've come to the right place, Paddy. And naturally, we can provide a horse for you. We have a very well-respected equestrian camp. And don't worry if you're a complete beginner. There are no end of other people in your shoes this year for some reason.
What sort of thing would I do?
Well, the beginners would start off with basic horsemanship. How to sit on a horse, how to...
So she was saying the beginners would start off with basic horseman Sheep. So that's the answer of horsemanship. Okay, let's move on to the next one. When is the deadline for enrollment? Let's listen.
Make the base simple instructions, you know. But don't worry, one of our instructors will have a long chat with you and define realistic goals. Are you interested in dressage, flat work, or show jumping?
To be honest, I haven't the faintest idea.
That's fine. You can watch the experienced riders and try a bit of everything. I'm sure something will grab your fancy.
Great. By the way, what's the enrolment deadline for all this?
Well, we've just extended it by a week, so it's now May 2nd.
Fine.
Okay, we are out of time, and we just heard that she was saying that well, we just expected it by a week, so it's now May 2nd, so the answer would be May 2nd, early May option. Okay, I have to reach early May option C would be the answer. Okay, as we are out of time, I have to re-click each answer one more time. Just give me a few seconds. Why is question 4? So option C, we have to select C. Option B, we have to select B. It was option A, we have to select A. Option G, we have to select G. As D, we have to select in D. Okay. Okay, I'm done. Let's move on to the next one. Question number 28. Here's another instruction for us. No more than 2 words for each answer. Okay. Perry is also interested in a course on blah blah. Okay, let's listen it.
You will hear and
Pause the recording for 30 seconds.
28. Now listen and answer questions 28 to 30.
You arrive on Sunday and leave after lunch on Thursday. The cost is £500. This covers room and board from dinner on the first day to lunch on the last. Tuition, programme materials, evening recreational activities and use of one of our horses.
So, could I do the swimming course followed immediately by the equestrian course?
Oh yes, they fit in quite nicely, one straight after the other. Now, is there anything else, Paddy?
Well, actually, yes. Now that I'm here. In my new school, I'm having to teach girls for the first time in my life, and they're also big on rhythmic gymnastics. Now, although I've got lots of experience with Olympic gymnastics, I don't feel at all qualified to teach rhythmic.
So the answer would be rhythmic gymnastics. Rhythmic gymnastics, as he was saying, and they're also big on rhythmic gymnastics. So that's what the answer would be. That's what I already write. Okay, but he knows nothing about it. Okay, conveniently it is a blah blah, so it does not matter that he's back at school.
We do run a course in rhythmic gymnastics, but it's in September. Would you be able to come back?
But I'll be back at school then.
We've thought of that, and that's why it's a weekend course. 3 weekends to be exact. First 3 in September.
So weekend course, the weekend course, as she was saying, as the lady was asking, will you be able to come back? And he was saying, but I'll be back at the school then. And the lady was saying, we thought of that, and that's why it is a weekend course. So that's what the answer would be, weekend course. Let's move on to the next. Apart from that, he advised to take blah blah.
Put me down for that one then. Any idea what the course involves?
Well, I know you study the different events like hoop, ribbon, ball, Indian clubs and so on. And you take a dance course.
A dance course?
And you can take a dance course. So the dance course would be the answer. Dance course. Okay. That's all about part 3. Let's jump into part 3. Here's the another instruction for us. No more than 2 words and a number for each answer. Okay. Sending your child to university. Let's highlight some code for this question. Number 31. Someone with a higher education earns blah blah more than someone without blah. Let's listen it.
But I'm the world's worst.
Now listen carefully and answer questions.
Tonight, I'd like to address myself to parents who are planning to send their children to university, but who might be concerned about the cost. There's no doubt that university education is a great asset. Not only will your children learn and grow, but according to the Department of Skills figures, on average, someone with higher education earns 50% more in a lifetime than someone without.
50% would be the answer. Because he was saying, on average, someone with higher education earns 50% more than in life than someone without. So that's the answer would be 50%. Let's move on to the next one. In 1997, maintenance grants abolished and blah blah introduced. Let's listen it.
But in the last decade or so, the cost of getting a degree has more than doubled, and it looks as if things are going to get worse. Maintenance grants were abolished in 1997, and tuition fees introduced for students in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Tuition fee introduced. So the answer would be TUTI. Tuition fee introduced. Okay, that's what the answer would be, tuition fees. Now let's move on. Okay, university fees increasing up to blah blah a year. Let's listen it.
Ireland. University fees are rising steadily, some of them more than £6,000 a year. If you thought
some of them £6,000 a year, so that's what the answer would be, 6,000 Now let's move on to the next one. Average undergraduate needs blah blah for 3 years.
Funding a university education was beyond your reach, think again. With sound planning, you can provide your children with this opportunity of a lifetime. If you're a new parent, remember that the earlier you start saving, the less you have to pay every month, and the greater your return. Money will give you flexibility about where your children study and the course they choose. But how should you invest? There's no simple answer, but there are a number of options. The National Union of Students estimates that the average undergraduate needs about £25,000 to finance 3 years at university.
He was saying undergraduate needs about 25,000 to finance 3 years at universities. 25,000 would be the answer. Let's move on to the next one. Almost 80% of students' costs are.
Based on these figures, it is projected that when someone is at university in 20 years' time, the cost will be approaching £40,000. But this is assuming that university fees will only increase with the rate of inflation. It could, of course, be more. Parents can save money by encouraging their children to study locally and live at home. Almost 80% of the costs students incur are living expenses.
So living expenses are the answer. Expenses. As he was saying, 80% of the costs students incur are living expenses. Let's move on to the next one. Paying for your child's education. Let's highlight it. Student tuition can be paid for in part if they join the blah blah.
Rent, food bills, travel, laundry, etc. If your child is already 13 years old and you haven't started to save yet, there is no time to waste. If the young person is interested in joining the armed forces, for example,
if young person is interested in joining armed forces, so the answer would be armed forces. Armed forces. Armed forces. Let's move on to the next one. The RAF will sponsor, but student must take up at least blah blah service. Okay, let's listen it.
the Royal Air Force, he can get the RAF to sponsor him throughout university. Then he'll fly fighter jets and after that work in the public sector as a commercial pilot. Sponsorship from the armed forces is an option hundreds of students take every year. The RAF, for example, will sponsor students for at least £4,000 a year. But this involves a minimum service commitment for the RAF. It's at least 4 years. If your child...
At least 4 years. Oh no, 4 years. The answer would be 4. Okay, students good at sports might secure a blah blah.
Likes the idea of engineering or law, he could consider a sandwich course. These normally involve a paid, year-long placement in the industry that he's studying, plus the normal time at university. You get experience in your chosen field, plus a year's salary. When your child is 16, you should start putting aside what you can, but there's no way you'll be able to fund a degree on savings alone. If your child is a gifted sportsman, you may be able to secure a sports scholarship.
A sport scholarship. So the answer is sports scholarship. Scholarship. Let's move on to the next one. The University of Kent gives a blah blah ticket bursary. Let's listen it.
Scholarships and bursaries come in all sizes, are awarded for a variety of reasons, and may be a one-off or annual payments. You may be eligible to apply simply because of where you come from, or for a specific course you are attending. They are seldom advertised, and many go unclaimed every year. The internet is a great way to start looking. There is a searchable database at www.studentmoney.org, and while you're at the computer, go to www.google.co.uk and type in some keywords. If you're a keen cricketer, for example, put in University Bursary Sport Cricket, for instance. Top of the results page is the University of Kent, which gives a £1,500 cricket bursary to talented players. If you have
So 1,500 would be the answer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Student loans. Maximum blah blah is £5,000. Let's listen it.
If you put any money aside, your teenager will almost certainly need to get a student loan. By far the best way for him or her to borrow. The maximum yearly loan is about £5,000.
The maximum yearly loan is about 5,000. So yearly loan would be the answer. Yearly loan would be the answer. Okay, let's submit it and check how much we scored. Okay, we got 8.5 out of 9, and why we got 8.5 and why we didn't get 9. Let's check out it. Okay. Oh no, I didn't write here 8. It's a typing mistake. Yeah, okay, maybe there was a mistake. We got maybe a mistake here. Okay, no problem. Let's move on. Okay, maybe we have to be more careful and more attentive. Then we'll be able to get 9 out of 9. Okay, that's all about today's lesson, and hope see you in the next class. Till then, bye.